So, welcome to Daily Practice with Nikhil. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself whispering to yourself, I feel lost, and immediately feel a wave of panic? What if that feeling, the beautiful, unsettling disorientation, isn't a sign you're off track, but rather the profound invitation life can offer? So, in this episode, we are going to explore why feeling lost is actually a magnificent beginning, a sacred passage where your old self dissolves and makes way for something extraordinary. So tune in, listen in, and we will make feeling lost a beautiful beginning. And we'll discover 8 powerful reasons why this uncertain space is precisely where your deep wisdom, resilience, and true freedom are born. You're not failing, you're evolving. So let's dive in. So, my dearest friends, have you ever noticed that just before life takes a meaningful turn, you often feel lost? Right before clarity washes over you, you might find yourself navigating the deepest fog. It's as if the universe has a tender yet profound way of preparing us for something extraordinary. When everything else feels uncertain, when the ground beneath you seems to shift, please know this isn't an end, but a powerful new beginning. You might feel like you're falling apart, but in truth, you're beautifully falling into place. So, this beautiful disorientation holds the secret to your most profound transformations. While it's natural to panic when we feel lost, to imagine we've made a grave mistake or that the life has abandoned us, I want to gently suggest something different. Feeling lost is a sign that you are absolutely, wonderfully on your path. It's only when these old maps no longer serve us, when familiar signs fade, then you realize a breathtaking new landscape. While seems like confusion, it is in fact an incredible expansion. To feel lost is to stand at the doorway of discovery. The universe isn't stripping away your certainty to punish you, it's doing so to prepare you for something greater. So imagine a tiny seed beginning to sprout. The seed itself must crack open. From the outside, it might look like destruction, but it's only through the gentle breaking new, vibrant life can push forth. So, in the same way, those moments in your life when you feel most broken, most uncertain, maybe today, maybe yesterday, maybe tomorrow, are precisely when the shell of your old self can no longer contain this magnificent person you are becoming. You might not see the full shape of this new growth yet, but trust me, it's already alive within you, gently pressing against the walls of the past. And how do I know? Because I feel the same all the time feeling lost, all the time feeling, am I doing the right thing? And I can feel that pressure. And I start to notice that when I embrace being lost, things start to feel different. So when you feel lost and those familiar signs vanish, you are in that miraculous situation as the breaking seed. It might feel like an ending, but it is, in truth, the most exciting beginning. The real challenge isn't feeling lost It is our conditioning to view it as failure. We often rush back to the familiar, clinging to old habits, identities, and comforts. But what if you simply allowed yourself to be lost? What if you embraced it as a loving invitation from life itself to gently loosen your grip, to release your old maps, and simply notice? Notice what you you ask. Notice that beneath any disorientation, there is something profound, a beautiful open space, a space you've never had before. The ordinary rhythm of your days, your plans, your goals, duties, and routines have been lovingly interrupted. And suddenly, you are now faced with this unmediated present. While this can feel a little daunting, this is precisely where your most beautiful transformations begin. To feel lost is to be invited into quiet, sacred silence, where the next glorious chapter of your life begins to write itself, not just in your mind or in your plans, but deep within the essence of your being. To resist this feeling is to invite suffering. To trust it is to embrace true freedom. Now, when you feel lost and you're confident you know where you're going, you're often walking within the limits of your own concepts. But the moment those concepts gently collapse, reality itself has a chance to reveal something new. In the sense, to be lost is to be most wonderfully alive. It means your identity, your expectations, and your assumptions are lovingly dissolving. And this dissolution is an end, is liberation in disguise. Our culture often shies away from uncertainty, treating it like a problem to be fixed as quickly as possible. We seek distractions, comfort, or immediate answers. We rarely allow ourselves to linger in the beautiful corridor between what was and what is coming. Yet, if we rush too quickly to escape being lost, we miss a precious initiation. We deny ourselves the profound wisdom that only emerges when there's nothing left to cling to. So, when this feeling of being lost arrives, don't run. Stay with it. It's a gentle sign that you are being lovingly reoriented, not by what you know, not by your ego, but by life itself. So, what happens when you no longer panic in these moments? You begin to discover a quiet, powerful strength you never knew you had. You realize that not every problem needs an immediate solution. Not every question needs an ultimate answer. Not every moment needs to be controlled. You discover that the incredible resilience within you, people who trust this beautiful process, emerge with a deep truth that is undeniable. They become individuals who aren't terrified by change, who aren't paralyzed by ambiguity, but who can smile gently, even radiantly, in the midst of all the confusion. And so, I offer this to you. The next time you feel lost, pause. Resist the urge to escape into busyness or distraction or familiar paths. Allow the sensation to gently wash over you. Let the disorientation lovingly dismantle the identity you are clinging to, for only then can the deeper, more powerful truth of life reveal itself to you. What you call lost is simply your ego realizing is not in charge. What you call confusion is simply reality kindly reminding you that you are part of a vast, magnificent process, far grander than any plan you could ever design yourself. What you call uncertainty is the very doorway through which beautiful change enters your life. It's a beautiful paradox, isn't it? We yearn for certainty, for the comfort of knowing exactly where we are headed, yet we are never more alive than when we understand certainty gently collapses. In those moments, every breath feels sharper, every sound more vivid, every possibility more wide open. It's as if life is stripping away all the background noise and left you naked with the reality itself in the most profound, glorious way. The question isn't whether you should avoid being lost, it's whether you have the bravery to let being lost become your most profound teacher. Because only in uncertainty can anything truly, wonderfully new be born. We often talk about this, and I think it is really true. Think of the caterpillar dissolving into its chrysalis. From the outside, it looks like death, confusion, chaos. But within that beautiful mess, or what we call mess, the blueprint of the butterfly is already unfolding. The caterpillar did not know this. It couldn't plan or strategize its way into transformation. It simply surrendered. Likewise, when you feel lost, you are in your own sacred chrysalis. Something beautiful within you is dissolving, and you cannot yet see the glorious form that will emerge. The real tragedy isn't that people feel lost, but that they fight against it, then try to remain the caterpillars, never allowing their magnificent wings to form. Feeling lost is beautiful proof that your old self is outgrowing its container. You are moving toward a new, expansive dimension of being, one that your mind cannot yet fully imagine. This is why so many spiritual transformations speak of the dark night of the soul. It's a sacred passage where the familiar lights gently dim, not because life has abandoned you, but because your eyes are readjusting to a deeper, more radiant illumination. And so, this very feeling you might interpret as disaster is, in truth, a loving initiation into your most authentic, brilliant self. Yet, how many of us resist? We tell ourselves, if only I had more money, more certainty, more stability, I would feel better. But have we noticed that those who cling most desperately to certainty are often the most anxious? Certainty is brittle, it snaps the moment reality shifts. True strength is found not in building walls, but in learning to float, to be at ease, even when the ground beneath your feet is shifting, to smile even as the old map gently burns in your hand. That is the beautiful secret the lost ones eventually discover. So the next time you feel lost, instead of asking, "How do I escape this?" try asking, "What beautiful lesson is this teaching me?" Suddenly, this feeling of being lost isn't an enemy, but a loving messenger, a wise guide, pointing you to the very parts of yourself that are ready to blossom. Perhaps it's showing you the gentle futility of control. Perhaps it's teaching you the profound beauty of patience. Perhaps it's lovingly stripping away attachments you didn't even know you were carrying. In all of these cases, the lesson won't come through resistance, it will only come through surrender, through allowing the mystery to lovingly work on you. So, the challenge for us is in what we experience as uncertainty, but that we demand certainty in a universe that is fundamentally beautifully uncertain. We demand permanence in a world that is always in motion. To live in the sea of change and to resist change is to invite struggle. So when we understand this feeling of being lost ceases to be terrifying. It becomes natural, graceful part of your journey. You realize that you are never truly been found anyway. You've always been wandering. The difference is whether you wander anxiously, cling to false maps, or whether you wander mindfully, joyfully, open to discovery. Think of musicians improvising together. None of them knows exactly what will come next. But in that beautiful uncertainty lies the magic, the beauty. Music emerges from not a rigid script, but from openness, from deep listening, from trust. So life is much the same. To be lost is to be invited into this grand improvisation, to stop reciting old lines, and to begin responding beautifully in the moment. And that moment has its own profound wisdom, richer and more intelligent than any plan. So if you learn to trust that music, you learn to trust yourself. So people who can lovingly endure being lost become truly magnetic because they radiate a calm that others simply cannot fake. Most people panic in uncertainty, but for those who remain steady as a mountain, who smile in the unknown, they become like lighthouses. Others instinctively gather around them, seeing that there is a someone there who has made beautiful peace with life's unpredictability. That is the incredible power of who you are and trusting your feeling of being lost. It doesn't change your inner world though, it transforms how others experience you. You become radiant, reminder that there is another way to live, not in someone else's point of view, but from your own point of view, not in a rigid control, but in beautiful equanimity. Change requires gentle, quote unquote, death of the old. It requires lovingly dismantling the furniture of your own mind, carefully lifting the floorboards of your identity, And for a time, you stand in the beautiful rubble, not knowing what will replace it. And this in between space is where lostness happens, or being lost feels like. In this in between space is uncomfortable, yes, but it's deeply sacred. It is where new life begins. And if you can lovingly endure the discomfort, you will discover that the very emptiness you feared was, in fact, the fertile ground of your magnificent rebirth. Perhaps this is the greatest invitation to all of us, to see our feeling of being lost not as a problem, but as a profound privilege to be able to even think that I can change in my own self is a privilege. For not everyone, this gift is given. So many live their whole lives repeating the same routines, trapped in the same comfortable prisons. But if you feel lost, it means that life is shaking you up, waking you from your dream. It means you are being asked to grow, to expand. It means the universe is absolutely not finished with you yet. And what could be more extraordinary than that? To be lost is to be vibrantly alive at the threshold of transformation. It is the wide open doorway which we just need to open. So let's not romanticize it too quickly. The path of transformation is often a solo one. Friends and family may not always understand why you seem certain or uncertain, why you no longer fit into those old molds. They may lovingly urge you to go back, to settle, to choose safety. And here is where your courage shines. The courage to trust your own beautiful unfolding, even when no one else can see it. Of course, no one else can see it because you are the only one who sees it. The caterpillar cannot explain the butterfly to those who remain crawling. Yet, if you courageously follow through, those very people may one day thank you for showing them another magnificent possibility. So, when you're lost, please remember this, that the feeling will not last forever. It is a passage, it is a season, it is a stage. You're not broken, you're being beautifully reshaped. You are not failing, you are gracefully transitioning. The pain of not knowing is the sacred labor of rebirth. And just as a mother endures without knowing exactly when the child will emerge, so too must you endure the transformation without rushing. In time, the new radiant form of your life will announce itself, and you just have to be ready for it. You just have to invite it, and you will realize that being lost was not punishment, it was loving preparation. Trust that even when you cannot see the path is beautifully unfolding. This calls for patience, the gentle ability to sit with this mystery without demanding immediate resolution. And it calls for all the practices: compassion, acceptance, gratitude, loving kindness, treating yourself with immense honor, dignity when you falter, when you stumble, when you feel uncertainty feels too unbearable. Remember, you are learning a new way of being, and learning new things always, at first, may look messy from the outside. But to be compassionate with yourself is to be loving and acknowledge that this transition is not a weakness, it's profound growth. So, feeling lost is not the opposite of being on your path. It's the most beautiful sign that you are deeply, truly on it. For every genuine transformation requires a loving descent into confusion before clarity can come back. So the next time you find yourself whispering, I feel lost, remember this. You are not lost. You are in transition. You are beautifully recreating the chapters between the magnificent versions of you and yourself. And if you can let the uncertainty lovingly wash over you without panic, you will discover that life is not against you. It is definitely for you. The ground you thought was disappearing is simply shifting into a new stage. So lovingly preparing to carry you somewhere breathtakingly new. You're not failing. You are evolving. And one day you will look back on this season not with regret, but with immense gratitude. And you know how I know that is because you are here already, because you have done this journey a number of times. Maybe you have not paid enough attention to it, but this journey has been happening for you throughout your life. And when we shine a light on it, it becomes less scary. So here are 8 reasons why feeling lost is a good thing. Number 1, it's a sign of growth and expansion. Feeling lost often means you are outgrowing your current circumstances and are ready for a new, larger dimension of being. It promotes self discovery. When old maps and certainties disappear, you're forced to look inward and discover inner strength and resilience. It opens doors to new possibilities. Without constraints of familiar paths, you become open to unexpected opportunities and directions you might not have considered before. 4, it cultivates patience and trust. Being lost teaches you to sit in the mystery, to trust the unfolding without demanding immediate answers. 5, it fosters deeper wisdom, the wisdom that emerges from navigating this uncertainty. 6, it reveals your true resilience. Facing the unknown without a clear path shows you how incredibly strong and adaptable you are. 7, it invites transformation. Feeling lost is often the chrysalis phase where the old self dissolves to make way for new, authentic, evolved version of you. 8, it connects you to life's improvisations. It teaches you to respond to life in the moment, like a musician improvising, rather than rigidly following the script, leading to a richer, more intelligent life. So, how are you doing? How lost do you think you are? Let me know if this helped. So, thank you for joining me in this discussion on being lost. If you feel lost, good, you are in the right place. So, thank you. I hope this episode has shifted your perspective or given you some sort of momentum or changed something within you or given the courage for you to take action. Remember, those moments of uncertainty are not roadblocks, but rather profound invitations. So don't fight this, embrace it as sacred passage. And until next time, keep trusting your beautiful journey. Take it easy and see you soon.